Hi, Emma. Go ahead. I thought you wanted to say hi. You're being goofy? Okay.
She can't hear me.
She can hear you. Okay, go watch Lion King.
I love Lion King too. Oh my gosh.
Put her on to just so she could chill out for this time, but we'll see. I'll get you another one. Do you want a fudge stripe? Do you want chocolate chip?
Those are crunchy.
Then you want to do a fudge stripe?
No. No.
What would you like? You want some cheese puffs?
A future student senator for sure. Yell about what she wants. I love it. Hello. Are you gonna give us this presentation instead of your dad?
Let's say hi.
We can't hear her. Is she saying something?
Can you say hi?
Love it.
Here you go.
I don't. No. No, some
Tom has taught her to know what she wants, that's for sure.
If you guys could send your IDs to Jordan Carlin, that'd be great. Thank you.
And Karen, are you taking this or am I?
I could take it or you could take it. I have no preference.
Go for it.
Okay.
I've got a year to do it.
All right, so then I'm calling Senate. Is it call to order? Yeah, at I don't know what time it is. 5:02. Okay, so we don't have any guest speakers. Don't forget to send your IDs to Jordan, and I guess, do we approve last week's minutes? I don't see anybody saying we don't, so we can just move on to department reports. Academic affairs with Josie Ward.
So I have no report and there's no committee meeting after GA. Pretty simple today.
Okay, now campus affairs with Harini.
Same here. No report, no committee meeting after GA.
Okay, campus safety and community relations, AJ.
So Brian and Peter completed an infographic covering some of Senate's accomplishments for this past year. That's been moved to the PR folder like as of an hour ago, like 30 minutes ago. And Joshua and Caitlin are continuing to gear up for their projects for the future, and no committee meeting after GA.
Emma, could you scroll down a little bit? Thank you. Okay, diversity and inclusion, Cameron. Is he not here? Okay, well, no report. So for IA, we have no committee meeting today. This Thursday, we will be going over the transition stuff with Jordan to make sure that he's set for next semester or next year. Public affairs and public relations, Ani.
No report and no committee meeting today. Hope everyone had a nice day.
Right now, going into student body executive reports, Director of Administration, Brandy Wayne.
Hi everyone, happy Monkey Monday. Hopefully everyone's Monday's going well and prepared for the beautiful white snow for tomorrow. SABRC went well this past weekend. Thank you, Cameron, for representing Student Senate. SABRC will continue this weekend as well. Results will be out sometime in May if any of you or any of your constituents requested funding. Thank you.
All right, Chief of Staff Ellie Hawkins, I'm assuming is no report. Speaker of Assembly David, no report for him. And then President of the Student Body, Emma Hoytier.
Good try. So the Dean Search Committee, well, the Dean Search in general is moving forward. I'm not actually completely sure of the timeline of when we're going to have a new, have the decision done by, but it's definitely moving quickly. And the bulk of the search committee's work that myself and Harshini was on is done. So, well, not completely done. I think there might be a couple more meetings, but the bulk of it is definitely done with the interviews and all that kind of stuff. There was a meeting set up with the Diversity Advisory Committee with the external recruiter that was hired to hire the new Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Vice President that they created that new position, as I let you guys know earlier. And then that meeting's happening Wednesday, which I will be unable to attend, but there are quite a few students on that committee that will have their voices heard. I just got quotes on the materials for the Live Here, Vote Here campaign that will start at the beginning of the year next year. One thing that we did learn is that you need to be a resident of Peoria for at least 30 days before you can register to vote in Peoria. So rather than focusing our efforts in registering freshmen to vote on freshman move-in day, we'll focus more of our efforts into registering people that have already gone to school here or are current residents and moving in from locally. So instead of focusing it on move-in for freshmen, after that 30-day period, we'll do some sort of big push to register freshmen after that 30-day period. And just so you guys know, there are laws that you can't hand out materials if you're like a candidate that to promote voting, because there's like some bribery laws. But because we will be handing things out regardless of whether or not people are registering. So we'll give them the free stuff. And then that's just to kind of promote registering to vote in Peoria. So it's not like we'll give you this if you register, if that makes sense. And then we're still always looking for more people to become deputy registrars, still working on that. And we completed the SABRC hearing and we will hear about that in May. I think that's it for right now.
All right, and now advisor reports with advisor Tom Coy.
Okay, so I'm going to do my best to do this presentation on Welcome Week without a child kind of jumping in and freaking out. But just some other quick things is real quick, anyone who got the vaccine through Bradley will get an email about scheduling their follow-up with that. That does happen during finals week, so they can schedule it on those 2 days. And then also, the summer hours are still being set, so it's something that we're working on currently, and I should be able to give you an update and announcement on that next week. So at this point, I am doing a quick overview of Welcome Week, and I kind of put it into a format that would be best. So I'm going to share my screen real quick so that you guys can kind of see this.
Flower! Oh, flower.
My daughter lost her flower, so it's going to be great. So we're going to go with this at this point. So I'm believing you can see my screen, but we'll just play with it. And
Hello.
yeah. All right. So I'm going to go through Welcome Week 2021, the major changes that we've had, the different schedules, the major changes we've had, everything else. Happy Monkey Monday. It's going great. So I'm going to go over the major changes that we've had, all the different things that we've had. I want to kind of be brief with this, but let you know a lot of these things are tentative because of COVID. But I've been informed to plan Welcome Week basically as business as usual for all the planning elements, with the thought that people will more likely than not be wearing masks, but we will be permitted to gather and everything. So I kind of pulled it out to do the major changes first, then a quick overview of the week. But the first major change is that every freshman is going to be assigned a campus life ambassador. So there's going to be 35 trained upperclassmen, as well as 3 to 4 go team leaders, who are the people who are basically running all the campus life ambassadors that'll be working with me. And these people will be having a series of meetings the first couple days, August 20th through the 23rd, where these students who will not be by RA floor, they won't be by any major or anything, they're randomly going to be connected to one another through these campus life ambassador meetings. This CLA is going to reach out to them and have some summer virtual contact with them, emailing them, communicating with them, because for some of our students, they're going to go to orientation in the very beginning of June and then not hear back from Bradley other than some business type stuff until they arrive in August. So this is kind of some people who'll be connecting with them, talking to them, and being just, if they need help or resources, they help out with that, since the student aides are basically in orientation every single day. It's a 35-hour commitment roughly that we're looking at they'll be doing, and we are going to pay these upperclassmen roughly, we're going to pay them $10 an hour, and then we're going to pay the Go team leaders a little bit more than that for their 35 hours. Originally, we were going to do dining dollars because I thought when we're talking upperclassmen, they don't have meal plans and everything. But there's been a lot of complaints about campus dining lately. So we are actually going to go with giving them the cash money that they can spend wherever they want and everything. We were trying to do the loophole with if you're on dining dollars, you don't get taxed by it and everything like that, but this was the cleanest way to do that, so we're going forward with that. So that's the major change one. The second major change that we're looking at is that upperclassmen will be arriving Thursday and Friday before the freshmen arrive. Really looking and thinking a lot about our students who are freshmen now who will be sophomores. They missed a lot of what is our normal traditional welcome week. And so a lot of our focus is going to be getting them involved and participating in the welcome week activities, whether it's the speakers, block party, all different things. So try to get them back here first. Also that way, so when the freshmen show up, there are more people here to welcome them, help them move in, all those different elements, and get them back on campus. And also give the upperclassmen a little bit of opportunity. If they have jobs on campus, they need to do trainings at, any of those things, just to get acclimated a little bit earlier. Also, there's going to be on that Friday night an upperclassmen welcome back Friday night event that we'll be looking at. It'll have music sponsored by ACBU at that. There will be some food. We don't know what that means because what can you eat during COVID, all those craziness, but we're going to have food. Fraternity and Sorority Life is going to do some programming aspects of it, whether it's just having bag sets out there or different things from there. They're going to do something. All the CLAs that I mentioned before will be there and will be present. These people won't be assigned into the groups, but they're still going to be there kind of hosting and hanging out. And then our final is that it's hosted tentatively, the hope by is the president and his family, as well as some of his administrative folks who are going to sit there and kind of greet and wake up. Lincoln, my daughter's flower fell, so we're having issues. But the president, his family, and everything will administer, be there, socialize, since the president truly hasn't had an opportunity to socialize, especially with the students who are freshmen, but also with all of us, basically. So that's another major change, getting those upperclassmen back earlier. A third major change is that convocation, which was all that wonderful experience that most of you probably experienced, has always been at 7 p.m. on a Tuesday evening, and it has been slightly boring and painful and kind of a forced measure. But for those taking EHS 120, it's always been a requirement, so they've had to go. So they've had to go. We're moving it to 3:30. Hey, I'm talking. I'm on the call. Okay, go watch Lion King.
No.
Go. If you can't be quiet, go watch Lion King. I'm so sorry. I'm single parenting this week, so this is my life. So the faculty and staff will be able to come. This follows an academic reception directly with faculty and staff. The hope is that they walk them over to convocation. But then after that, we're really trying to do a new tradition that so many schools do just like us. Okay, go to your playroom. It's right there. That go to another school. I'm winning now. This program is called The Walk. So basically at a lot of schools, the things they do is as they leave the university convocation, all the upperclassmen, faculty, staff, and is there kind of welcoming them to campus. Do you want to wave hi?
No.
Okay, no. So they're cheering. It's very, very cheesy, but it's a major campus tradition we're trying to bring to Bradley University. The fourth major change that we have is that sorority recruitment has shifted from the first weekend to the second weekend of the school year. So in the past, if you think about it, students move in on Saturday. They're going to sorority recruitment orientation on Tuesday and Wednesday. Sorority recruitment starts Thursday, and it's kind of they're out for the rest of that time doing sorority recruitment stuff. Moving sorority recruitment to the second weekend will be positive, we believe, for both the sororities as well as for the greater campus community, because it was, we'll get a new flower when I'm done, okay? So it will allow people to be able to promote joining sororities, all those different things for Panhellenic sororities, but it will also give higher exposure. But it will also make, if one roommate is joining a sorority and the other one is not joining a sorority, it won't make that divide as wide. And hopefully they'll be able to hang out, connect, socialize with their floor before they go Greek. And not that they disappear, but before they kind of leave the residence hall environment. This way they can connect. And it also gives a bigger opportunity for the fraternities and specifically the Panhellenic sororities to try and engage those students who will be sophomores who kind of missed out on that sorority recruitment experience. So that's another major change. The fifth major change I wanted to talk about is activities fair. So in past years, activities fairs has always occurred on that Monday. So people arriving Saturday, activities fairs on that Monday. And I will just say, all in out, the majority of our student organizations run by upperclassmen have not been ready to have activities fair, to have materials out, and been prepared to talk even about what the next steps of joining their club is, because they don't even have meetings booked or anything. We've pushed it a little bit back to the Saturday to try to give some programming there, because there's no sorority recruitment things going on. So it's a nice Saturday program that gives everyone a little bit more opportunity to get together. The other thing that we're doing is we've moved all businesses and nonprofits to a Thursday event, which is we're calling Browse Peoria. So we can try and burst that Bradley bubble a little bit and expose people to all the different community agencies and everything from there. We're working with the Chamber of Commerce and the United Way in order to get those businesses and people connected to us. So that's the kind of fifth major change. So real quick, I mentioned freshman tracks with the CLAs. Just so you know, it kind of starts that Saturday, and I'm not going to go through this whole schedule with you, but it runs through one of the things you can see. Well, let me start on the Saturday. They start with an opening session, a motivational academic success speaker. Then they go back to their community meeting with their campus life ambassadors for icebreakers, getting to know each other. Then after that, they're definitely going to Late Night View. That's the programming that's there and connected from there. Sunday is one of the biggest days. They start that day with a speaker, as long as our SABRC requests go well, or if I find other money. But the speaker is Sam Offer. He's presenting a Building a More Inclusive Bradley, in line with the mission statement and the focus on diversity. We're kicking off with a diversity. We have small group discussions. And then you're going to see on there another one I just want to mention is the Healthy Relationships Program by Dorian and Marshall. This is a program being presented really about, it's everything from Title IX to healthy relationships to alcohol and sex to LGBT dating information, everything there. So it's just kind of a good session we include in there from the beginning there. These campus ambassadors, the CLAs, then go over getting involved, the 1897 challenge, They will then walk their students to block party, and that night is Taste of Bradley. That night, the big evening event is that the hall councils, it's a Sunday night. That's normally when hall council is. They'll all be doing their big programming and everything. So I'm not going to go through day by day with a schedule just due to time and a screaming child. But kind of you can see we've gone through there and changed things up to try and give the orientation elements that were left out due to academics and kind of move it out a little bit from there. Where we are at this point is we have met with ACBU, the fraternities and sororities on campus. We've also met with Student Senate, and then the executive team for student affairs. Obviously, the vice president had to approve it. We've gone through kind of all those different information and presented that out. The Campus Life Ambassadors, our next stage of what we're doing with that is that it will be featured in this Hilltop Happenings coming this Thursday so that people can apply, and they have until May 6th to fill that application out from there so that we can go from there. I will say, we say specifically we're looking for upperclassmen. When I say upperclassmen, it's really looking for juniors and seniors because a lot of our current freshmen didn't get to experience a full regular welcome week or even the full regular Bradley experience, I would say. So we're trying to get folks who have utilized resources, all those different elements and experienced it there as our leaders. I'm not saying that we would turn down a sophomore, but it's more likely we're looking for those upperclassmen who have kind of lived it a little bit. That is what our focal point is, especially thinking of many of our leaders on campus being able to give back in a leadership opportunity. So what I will do, because I didn't go through the whole slideshow, is I will send it. I don't know how to do that. I'll send it to Emma and we can figure out to send it out to you all as an attachment so you can look through it. You can send me email questions, anything from there. I'm happy to take any questions that are right now. Like I said, I wanted to be cognizant of your time and just give you a preliminary overview. But I also don't want to ramble about Welcome Week if you're not really interested at all. So I guess I'll throw it back to you, Karen and Emma, and you let me know where we need to go from there.
Well, I have a question for anybody. So I've already told Tom that I want to apply for the CLA position because that gets me very excited. So if anybody else is interested, could you run over what the application process might look like and like the timeline for that?
Sure. So applications are actually live now. They're just not being promoted anywhere. So if you stumble upon it, there you go. But it'll be in Hilltop Happenings on this Thursday, and it'll be open until May 6th. The application, basically the very first page goes over kind of in depth of what the expectations are, what you are doing, because it's a new position, and following up information from there. So that's the whole first page. It's a Google form. So if you've done a Google form, you know what I'm doing. So at that point, our second thing is, I'm sorry, my daughter's singing Hakuna Matata right now. And I'm like, how did you go from raging on the floor to Hakuna Matata? So no worries, it's great. So the second whole page that we have in it is about you and your Bradley experience. So it's talking about like, how have you been a part of the community on campus? What advice would you give to a freshman? So there are questions that are limited to like 125 words. I think there's 5 questions that are in there. Then the last page, which isn't really the judge page, is about your biographical information. Like, what name would you want on your name badge? What is your hometown that you're from? What's your email, phone number? All those things I have, so that if you're selected, we can connect out from there. Then also on top of that, we have your information. If we end up having so many applications, we need to be doing Zoom interviews, those different things and elements from there. It also, in the very first page, kind of breaks it down of the time commitment. It says like, in July, you will spend 3 hours doing this because we want them to reach out to every student in their group and do a phone call. Phone calls old school, but whether it's Zoom or whatever, just to touch base with them after they sent them an initial email. So that's kind of what we're looking at. And then in terms of notification, we told people they would know the next steps if they've turned in their application by May 6th. They will know their next steps on May 15th. There is not a GPA requirement. They just have to be in good standing with the university. So that means both academically and in terms of judicial standing with the university. And judicial isn't that they've been a saint their entire career. It just means that they're in good standing judicially right now. Is that a good overview?
Beautiful. Yes. Do you have that link? I can pop it in the minutes, or should we wait for Hilltop Happenings?
I'm getting that link right now. Here we go.
Wonderful. I'll link it in the minutes for anybody that wants to do it. I say, anybody else have any questions? Can hop in.
Yeah, I just have one brief question. I know that you kind of said that there'd be like a little bit of work here and there throughout like the summer and stuff like that, and like leading up to the school year, of course, because it's a welcome week thing. Would this work be remote, or like how would we like coordinate and like, you know, accomplish the tasks that like you guys assigned to us? Would it like kind of be group work like over Zoom or something like that, or?
Perfect. So the answer to that is the work over the summer, there'll be a virtual training. There'll be a training once everyone's selected and everything from there that we can, sorry, I'm multitasking. I got the link for you. So first we'll do the training virtually. An hour to an hour and a half is what we said that we would be doing. We'll probably do a couple at a couple different times. And then after that, the rest of the work is all stuff people could be doing virtually. So you can do it from any place remotely. You know, it says like the things over summer are similar to like send an email to your group, make phone contact with your group, those type of things you can do from wherever you are. When it comes back to the end of the school year or the start of the school year, we have training on the Thursday night from 5 to 9 p.m. And then on the Saturday morning from 9 to noon, we have our training, and then we're pretty much up and running and getting going. So our two trainings are, actually I said Friday and Saturday. Our two trainings are Thursday night and Friday morning. We have approval for anyone who lives on campus to move back in early. Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. I did just put the link in the chat, so if anyone's interested, they can go in there and take a look at it. That's not the pretty link, but that was just the quickest way for me to get it for you.
I have a question. So would this like replace like student aids, or is this like a separate thing, or is this
Sure.
like...
So student aids are only in the summer, and they are in the orientation sessions. Orientation are only an 8-hour day at this point. So the student aid is with them for the course of that day, but that day is entirely a scheduling academic base. So all the, probably for the juniors and seniors here who did team builders and fuzzies and sit up talking overnight and everything, none of that's happening anymore. So this is kind of in that absence, this is one of the things we're putting in place to try and fix that. So student aids will still be around, but their contact with the people in their group is only for one day for 8 hours, basically.
All right, any other questions? Thank you, Tom. Woohoo.
You can see my daughter, she's digging into cookies in the background and looking at me like, can you see me?
Amazing. She really knows what she's doing.
You're getting cookies? Okay. And that's my report.
Wonderful. All right, Karen, throw it back to you.
Righty. Does anybody have any constituency reports?
I do.
All right, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Andrew Green. I'm an at-large senator. My report is in regards to the graduation tickets. There's been a little bit of confusion about when and how they will be distributed. And there's been some upheaval about the graduation. It was that you had 2 tickets and now you'll have 4. I just wanted some clarification on that.
So the information I can give you right now is because they're doing 7 graduations, they're able to extend the numbers from 2 to 4 people for the graduation. The distribution of the tickets isn't something that I'm actually familiar with because it's all coming from the alumni office. So I don't have further information on that. It's been kind of a moving, changing target, but I know one of the things is they moved this 4 people because the way they're going to do spacing on the bleachers. But I will say overall, one of the concerns is the traffic and parking that they're trying to figure out as well.
Any other constituency reports?
This is Judy. Oh, okay, this is Judy
You can go
Atler.
ahead.
Okay, thank you. This is Judy Atler, at-large senator. This is concerning vaccines. So, most colleges around the country have required the students to get the vaccines before they come back for the fall semester. So, does Bradley have like any information concerning that, or like, yeah?
At this point, it's not a requirement, it's a recommendation. Bradley has not stepped forward with that it will be a requirement at this time.
Okay, thank you.
I have a follow-up question with that. How much in advance do they have to kind of give students, before they, what's the deadline before they have to decide one way or the other?
Well, some of it comes into legal matters that are above my pay grade. I'll just kind of say there, because there are shots that every Bradley student is required to get, but there are also variances from those shots for religious reasons, health reasons, and everything else that the university would have to instate for that. The whole conversation around this has been so far that Bradley is not going down the path of a requirement like Duke and many of the other private institutions have done. But one of the things that Nathan Thomas has told me that he has stressed whenever this conversation comes up is that if it's going to be a requirement and it takes 28 days to get the shot taken and everything, we have to make allowances for this. And I do know one of the things that they've kind of thrown out there is that if this is something that would ever be put into place, we would need to make that an opportunity for vaccinations to happen on campus again, similar to what they just did. But I'm not going to say it's not happening, but the more likely than not is that this is not something Bradley is moving forward with. And if they did, that announcement would be very quick.
I know there was, I think, one more person who was going to give a constituency report. You can go ahead.
Yeah. So I had a few freshmen reach out to me, just kind of asking how the whole like move out situation is going to go because, you know, COVID capacity and all that stuff. And like, you know,
I'm sorry, Brandon. Sorry, real quick, Brandon, can you just announce your position for us?
yes, at-large senator, apologies.
Thank you.
But yeah, just generally, they were all kind of asking just how move out day was going to go and stuff like that.
I will say at this point, Brandon, I have an executive team meeting on Wednesday and I'll ask that question. I believe truly it will be like when you guys vacated in the spring semester. That's like when you can come and get your stuff, that's when you go. I think that's what our process is that we're setting designated hours that can happen. But I'll ask an executive team to see if anything else happened. And
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I have one more constituency report. Emo, I'm an at-large senator right now. It's sort of a follow-up to that. Are they gonna do the are they gonna be doing the COVID testing for asymptomatic before they go home again like they did in November? If anyone knows that, or if you could bring that up to the meeting.
I can ask that at the meeting as well on Wednesday. It's not something that we've talked about yet, so I don't know if it's either not on their radar or if they're not worrying about it. So I'll do a check on that. I know it is still available at this time, but I don't know if they're going to require what they're going to do with it.
Any more constituency reports? Alrighty, doesn't look like it. Alrighty, so we don't have any unfinished business, no new business, any public comments? All right, no comments from the public. Call for announcements.
I'm on the Education and Health Sciences Dean Search Committee, and I just wanted to update everyone. So far this past week and this week, the top 3 candidates are meeting with all the stakeholders here and the upper administration. So they should be through after this week, and I'm not sure when the deadline is, but I will try and keep everyone updated.
Any more announcements?
I just wanted to give an update as far as the chair people interviews are going. We're a little over halfway through, and we should know by the end of this week. But then senator positions are still open, so if you know anybody who might be interested, keep letting them know.
Awesome. All right, so I guess that looks like that's it. Then
I have an announcement.
Oh, go ahead. You can go ahead.
Sorry, my MacBook just froze. So the theater has their show Ernest coming up on, I believe, Thursday through Saturday, the 22nd through the 25th. So go support the theater.
All right, any more calls for announcement? All right, then I will call for adjournment at 5:35 p.m.
All right, and I just love the fact that we're not doing committee meetings and all that kind of stuff. We're all winding down, so take care of yourselves. It's the wildest end of the year for me. Just this, like, I feel the fact that we haven't had a break, so I'm very, very proud of all of you. You guys are awesome. And yes, Hakuna Matata, what a wonderful phrase. But yeah, so I think we're all done here. See you next week. Next week, everyone is still needs to come. We'll start out with a GA of this group. We will install the new SBOs, and then we will end that GA session and start a new GA session with the new SBOs and senators installed. So everyone still show up with our new slate of senators that will be coming next week as well. Very exciting stuff. See you guys later.
I have a quick question. Is that like at the same time, or is it like earlier, later?
It'll just flow into
Okay.
one into the next.
But like we'll start at 5.
Yes, start at 5.
Okay.
Yep, and you'll get a reminder email from me from now on. And no, it is not too late. Oh, sorry, you did that privately.
All good. I'll email you.
Awesome, please do. All righty, bye. Bye,
I
everybody.
just like stayed for the culture just because this is our last time.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that what I said was actually true. I know it was from Geyser because I only ate 2 things, and it was breakfast and dinner, and they were very far apart. All I had was cauliflower, green beans, corn, and this vegan Alfredo, and I think they kept the cheese out for the vegan stuff. And I was trying out, and I was scared to eat today.
Understandable, because then that's the only option that they're giving you right now, right?
I was very scared. So Geyser's off my list for the rest of the summer, or the rest of the semester.
I'm so sorry that oh, I'm still recording.